Hi, welcome to everybody looking at that too.
Welcome to that too. It's just the two of us.
Naturally.
Uh-huh.
Hey guys, what's going on?
Hey baby, what you doing over there?
Basket. What's been going on? You know.
Who knows?
Who knows?
Been 2 weeks since 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Yep. We release every other episode.
Oh well, for you, yeah. For us,
yeah. For us, it's been.
For us.
For us.
Thank you, Tavumile. It's been
welcome.
a 1 week, baby.
A 1 week.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so.
we film everything so far in advance.
Yeah, we film it. You don't get to see that part. We film our voices. We film the sound waves of us.
We just film our mouths moving. Well, yep.
No sound.
No sound.
Yeah, you gotta be able to lip read.
The heck out of it.
The heck out, yeah.
We will,
lip readers only podcast.
We are deaf friendly.
I mean, that too.
I guess people can lip read if you don't need it.
Oh, like as a skill?
Yeah.
Well, I feel like, how you gonna know, you know?
What? That's so cryptic.
How are you gonna know that you can do it unless you put yourself in a situation where that's the only way that you can, you know?
Well, I mean, when I was in class, like in elementary school, my teacher, for some reason, made us see if we could do it. And she, like, sat in front of us, like, she would bring us up in pairs, and then sat in front of us, and then would, like, mouth something, and then try to see if we could guess what it was, like, what she was saying. And I fully don't remember why she had us do that, but...
What class was it?
It was, like, just elementary school.
Lip reading. Oh, like... yeah. Forgot that in elementary school, it's just the one class you got.
That's crazy to think.
Yeah. For like first period or like it's like it's all first
the
period.
One, yeah,
the one thing. When I was in elementary school, middle school, we had to take a test to see if you were a visual learner or audio the hearing one.
Yeah, auditory.
Or that's the one I'm looking for. Or kinesthetic, or like you learn by moving around, I guess. And we took the test for it, and I got like 0 visual, like 1 auditory, and 99 kinesthetic. And I was like, whoa, that's crazy. And I went to show my teachers, and they were like, yeah, we know. I was like, oh, snap, dude. I got read by my friggin' homeroom middle school teacher. They were like, yeah, we know that.
Take a class like that.
I don't even know, like, I'm sure it's not legit. It's like, astrological signs, you know?
Yeah.
It's all friggin' hokey pokey. What? Like, you know, like fake and not real.
Yeah.
Hot takes, by the way.
Man, we're gonna erase, like, half of the internet from listening to our podcast.
What? Because we're like, horoscopes aren't real? Like, friggin' astrological signs? Listen, someone had to let you know. And it's gotta be us, apparently. But we love you. Please stay.
I think it's cute that it's like, we are like, connected to the stars because of our birthday. I don't know. But yeah, whenever it's like, I'm not going to be friends with you because you're this type of way, or like you're this sign. I'd be like, oh, man.
Or like when you're like, oh, I'm having this experience, and someone's like, oh, it's because you're such a Capricorn.
Yeah.
Like, what?
If I was an Aries, I would be perfect.
Exactly. Well, you would be, because the problem is that Aries is the coolest sign, which sucks because I don't believe in the horoscopes and crap, or like the zodiac. Is it zodiac?
Yeah, zodiac.
Is it zodiac?
Yeah.
Are you sure? Wait.
A horoscope, it uses your zodiac sign sometimes.
Is it the zodiac? Astrological sign. Well, zodiac, because I think Chinese zodiac.
It's your zodiac sign.
I think I'm like a pig or something.
That's your
the Chinese one.
Yeah.
I'm like a rat or a pig or one of the sucky ones.
I think that you're a rat.
I think that you're a rat. You're like a dolphin or something.
I'm a snake.
Oh, that's cool too. That's like dolphin tier. Like a dragon. How do I get that, you know?
I know, the coolest one.
Yeah.
I was born in 2001.
We don't need to talk about when I was born.
1995?
Yeah.
Look at me go.
Yeah,
I listen.
Really good. She listens. You're a Scorpio.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're like that's the ultimate goth duo, I feel like.
Snake and a Scorpio.
Yeah, a snake and a scorpion. I'm a pig and a sheep. I'm like a farm.
You're
a rat and a sheep. I'm like the lame. Except the Aries is the coolest sign. You read all of the horoscopes or all the signs, and it's just like Leo, you're freaking narcissistic.
Yeah.
You gotta check that. Gemini, you're insane because there's 2 of you. Scorpio, you're trying to bang
everyone.
Yeah, I don't know. Aries, you're so cool and intelligent and passionate too.
I think you're reading ones that are created
we all
by Aries.
love you. No, it's always listen, you get angry, but it's righteous anger, and you're always right. We love you, Aries. It's always that. They're like, Capricorn, I don't even know what you are. Friggin' thing on the Thanksgiving
Cancer,
table.
you're a disease.
Cancer, you're a disease. Sucks to be you. Pisces, loser. Aries, crushing it. Slay, queen. And that's, yeah.
Yeah, it's always, whenever I read Scorpio, it's always like...
Scorpio. You don't need to Scorpio, dude. Whenever I read Scorpio... That's the new water starter. Friggin' Pokemon. Scorpio. Use sexual attack. I don't know anything about that type of stuff. So.
Whenever I read, stuff written about it, it's always watch out, they're mean and vindictive.
Yeah.
And,
what, Aries?
No.
Oh,
Scorpio. And they're they'll hold a grudge against you and plot against you, and I'm like, man,
you sick, bro.
I'm
Love
a
that.
horrible person.
Yeah.
I don't think I ever read anything that was nice about being a Scorpio, except for
girl. Friggin' Scorpio. Anyway, yeah, you were saying, except for what?
Except for them being they're super sexually whatever. They'll rock your world in the bedroom, and I'm just like, all right.
I'm 12 years old. I'm not interested. Sorry. Aries is the coolest. Taurus is also stubborn.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's all of them.
It's so funny how much we know about this.
Libra? I don't even know what that is. That's like a thing you put music on. Something. I don't know. It's got something to do with that. Libra? Is that all of them? Scorpio?
There's 12 of them.
Freaking Pikachu? I don't know. You have attachment issues or something if you're a Pikachu.
Yeah.
There's a funny joke in there that I couldn't create. Friggin' Scorpio, dude. Say it.
Scorpio.
You're saying Scorpio.
What is wrong? Wait, how am I supposed
Scorp.
Scorpio.
Yeah, you're saying Scorpio, dude. Scorpio.
Scorpio?
Yeah, Scorpio. This is an intervention. This is friggin' goodness. I never noticed that.
Like
a scorpion? Yeah, like that. Not like a scorpion? You're a scorpion, dude. That's so... You're saying SKWRpian.
Scorpion.
Scorpio. I was like, maybe I'm just mishearing you say it. Freaking Scorpio, dude. My brother was a Prenzel.
Prenzel?
Yeah, Prenzel. He'd get all up in the Prenzel. I do I don't think I have a real southerny way of talking, but for some reason when I say purple, which I've said like that on purpose, a lot of the time if I'm not thinking it'll be purple. Purple, yeah, and I'm just, I don't know, that one word I have in my head, yeah, and then dog, because my mom's from Connecticut, which is close to New York, as you might be aware, always says dog, and so I just those 2 words I'm afflicted. Dog. Yeah, dog.
I think it's cute. I have the most neutral American accent ever, I think. But I used to live on the West Coast for all of my life, and then when I was almost 18, I moved to the East, Southeast, and yeah.
That docks free, the East.
The East, the Southeast. And I got told by everyone that I have a Western accent, and I was like, what does that freaking mean? And I still to this day don't know, but people will point out words that I say differently that will try to justify that I have a Western accent. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, well,
I would think, because I did a semester of linguistics grad school, so I'm pretty much an expert. I would think that would be something that I would have clocked, but I never did, other than you saying, like, the names of Western states correctly, and me not knowing what they are, and then you also saying the name of the city in which we live incorrectly, which I don't feel like narrows it down. But, you know, we fixed you, so now you're good now. You start?
Yep.
Okay, cool. So, where we left off last time, Tavumile found out some interesting information about her mother.
Yep. Holy heck.
Yep. Unconfirmed by BT Dubs because friends could not check to see.
It was, like, sort of confirmed, though, because they heard around that, like, that's why they wanted them both alive.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
And so Barbielle's like, this is what we freaking heard.
Yeah.
So, whatever. Yeah, so then Tavumile had to make the tough decision to be like, well, I guess I will leave here because, like, she didn't want to leave her mom, but then Arliss was like, well, what are you going to do about it?
Yeah.
And so she's like, well, I guess I got to escape.
Yeah.
And they made the plan to jump out of a window.
Yeah, with some cool spell action.
Yeah.
Tavumile had planned. Arliss and Barbielle were standing watch in a room where Frenthius was doing something.
Yeah.
I say that like I don't know what it was, to Tavumile's mom, and said, wake me up in 10 minutes. I'm gonna trance, pretty much. And they were like, okay, time to get the heck out of here. And so they, like, ran away, ran up to Tavumile's room. Some hijinks ensued with them being sus.
Yeah.
And then they ran back down to be within that 10-minute time frame.
Yeah.
Totally gave themselves an alibi for how they couldn't have been that sus night because they were fully here and rolled super well. And Frenthius rolled like trash. And so then they were able to go up to go get her because they're going to walk around the area. They had that conversation about escaping. And then they found a break in the wall that of the tower that was set up that way to be a hole for the ballista to shoot out of.
Yeah.
There was a guy who was kind of around there. Tavumile, like, potion of friendship to him and kind of was just like, hey, could you go away?
Yeah. Also, I just want to say, I know that with us doing friends, we don't add in the after a minute they realize that you did something.
Oh, don't we? Anyway, so
crap. You haven't before.
Yeah, well, you don't know what I have done before.
Okay, fuck me.
Yeah. Anyway, so the point is, the whole convince the guy to get the heck out of there so you can do nefarious things.
Yeah.
And then some sneaky folks came up the stairs, saw that Tavumile was by the ballista, and decided that he would push her out of it.
Yeah.
Why? We don't know.
And Barbielle knew that was going to happen, but let it happen because I think her thought process was like, I'm either going to have to kill this guy to prevent this from or like cause some kind of commotion, and then this is going to prevent us from doing whatever. Yeah. Or this is a surefire way for Tavumile to get out of the window without it being sus.
Yeah.
And like if
sus different,
yeah.
though, yeah.
And if she gets caught being outside, she'd be like, look, I legit was pushed out of a window.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I think Barbielle was like, I care more about my sister than I do about Tavumile inherently. So
yeah.
I'm not going to put Arliss in a situation where she has to maybe get into a fight.
Yeah, just for the sake of this person who I really don't know. Okay, so that was the last thing that happened, is Tavumile was pushed out a window.
Yep.
All right, Tavumile.
Yes! I was like, who am I gonna start off as?
Listen, I have tried this from other angles just to, like, prolong this moment. You have to start here. I really don't know how else.
Woo!
Yeah, so, you just got pushed out a window, as it turns out, and you are fully, what did it feel like? The guy kind of just gave you a quick, kind of, like, succinct, lethal, shove.
Yeah.
Like, he pushed your back so hard that it, like, your head kind of falls backwards. So what does it feel like as you kind of, like, start falling through the
I think
night
that
sky?
I probably, because this isn't like a I'm standing on a cliff and you could just push me off. I think there's like a little bit of a ledge and all of that.
There's like a hole you gotta fit through.
And so I think that she very much scrapes herself up as she gets pushed out of this. And she fully wasn't expecting it at all. Because, like, why would Tavumile think that anyone has evil intentions ever, even though all of this stuff is happening to her? And so I think that she gets pushed out. She's like scrape up the legs and shoulder, whatever. And she like wasn't expecting it. So it's a very like limp, like kind of whiplash kind of shove. And so it like stings a little bit and is super startling. And I think that she like has this moment of like frozen terror. And then all of a sudden she's like, wait a second. This is exactly what I want.
None of this.
Wait, I'm out of the window. Okay, this is fine. Maybe he was just helping me out. And like she's like thinking in her head, like maybe he knew that I wanted to do this, and then he's like helping me out in a way that like I didn't think that I needed any help. He's just doing it in a weird way. Like she's like making it to where he's the good guy.
She's like reasoning quickly enough, hopefully that
because he was also saying like nice things to her before, like, oh, it's beautiful this time of year, or whatever.
And she's like, oh,
he's a nice guy.
This was a mistake. Yeah, I don't know. Cool. So as Tavumile, you're wearing a soldier's uniform, which basically in this context looks like no shoes, because Tavumile doesn't do shoes. No jacket.
Okay.
Pants, and then like the undershirt type. Think like, pirate shirt looking shirt. So billowy. The guy whose clothes you're wearing is a little bit bigger than you, so more billowy. What is Tavumile's hair doing right now? It was sort of it was, because it was in this magnificent updo, and now it's not. Is it just, like, redonkulous? Or
I think it's just, like, because I think that her hair's cut short because she doesn't know how to take care of it. I think, like, her mom made her cut it short because she was getting knots and stuff in it. And so I think that it's just, like, everywhere, like, it's not, like, whatever. And I do think that the little, like, flower buds around her face are like almost fully open out of like surprise. And they like start to relax a little bit as she's just like, oh, I'm fine with this.
This is necessary. Okay, cool. So basically what you are completely enveloped in this moment. Before, you were basically enveloped in darkness. There was the torchlight in the hallway. This pocket was a little bit darker just because it wasn't lit. It would not have needed to be lit, especially in this moment. And you could see basically just like the moonlight coming through the hole in the wall, the little window, and then it was like lighting up little dust mote type thing. So after you start falling, it's darkness, but the moonlight is so bright that it kind of makes everything look, and I know you have a really cool vision and stuff, but for us humans, everything kind of looks like grayish because it's like the darkness being lit up by just pure blue light. And you can see from your tumbling through the air, the kind of like tops of the trees. I mean, you're pretty preoccupied with falling in the sky right now. And then just sort of like splotches of like reddish, yellowish fire and general kind of just shapes around. And as you fall, you have some activities that you wanted to get down with. So what's going on?
All right, so Tavumile wanted to cast Featherfall. I think that while she's falling, she kind of just takes a little potion out, uncorks it, and downs it. But I want to cast Featherfall in a way that will, like, I can wait a little bit until I get closer to the ground so that I'm not, like, miscalculating, like, oh, you don't reach there in a minute, and then I splat on the ground.
True that.
So it's just a reaction. Choose up to 5 falling creatures within range. A falling creature's rate of descent slows to 60 feet per round until the spell ends. If the creature lands before the spell ends, it takes no falling damage and can land on its feet, and the spell ends for that creature. So,
cool.
I'm going to do that. And because it is a spell, I have to roll wild magic. This is the second time I've had to roll wild magic. So now it's 1 through 10, something happens.
Right.
And then 11 through 20, nothing happens.
Mm-hmm.
So 15. So
wow,
I'm safe.
So you're chilling now. Gosh, what a exciting time it would be for something to happen for the first time. Okay, cool. So as you take out this potion, you uncork it, and it all splashes up into the air, and you can't use it anymore. You kind of like, you uncork it, you down it. What is it? What is the sensation? What does it feel like as it enters your system?
I think that it is like a really, really thick potion. Your face.
I don't like that.
I think it's like super, super thick, and I think that it's like clear. Like, I think it's clear with, like, little flecks of, like iridescentness in it. And I think that, when she, like, takes it, she, like, doesn't feel her body anymore. She's just like, I am nothing. I am, like, a floating thing.
I'm laughing because whenever you try to describe stuff like this, I try to feel it so I can get like a sense of it. For some reason, when you did that, I imagine all of my body like losing that feeling of my body being there, except for my eyeballs. And I was thinking, Tavumile just feels like 2 eyeballs falling. It doesn't have to be that. Anyway, okay, cool. So she loses, like, the sense of her body. What does it just feel like? She becomes one with the air?
Yeah.
That kind of, like, floating feeling. And you are able to fall without taking fall damage.
Mm-hmm.
Do you fall more slowly? Is that what it was?
Does say that the descent slows to 60 feet per round, and a round is 10
okay,
seconds.
Listen, this is what's gonna happen. There's no anything happening. You fall the whole way, and it's all fine. Okay, cool. So I'm gonna say whatever amount of falling that a person would have to speed in order to not take damage in real life, you're falling that fast. Okay. So you're like, use your imagination. You're like, you know, you're not going none. It's like you jumped.
Yeah.
Like you're coming down from a jump. So you're doing kind of like a moderate Mary Poppins-ingness down. And so while you are doing that, you can get kind of a lay of the land, assuming that Tavumile is interested in that.
I think that she's looking around. She's just like, well, it's working, I think. I mean, I'll figure out by the time I reach the ground.
Soon we will know. Okay, cool. So you're outside of the tower. Obviously, mainly your back is the tower. And
I'm on the ground now.
Not yet.
Okay.
This is you, Mary Poppinsing slowly through the air. To your back is the tower.
Mm-hmm.
You know that's true. You can kind of get a sense of that. You could tell from everything about the tower, but the tower is round, stone, and you can see from where you are falling from the sky that around the corner is the front door to the tower, or you would imagine at least a door. It has a torch at least on one side of it, and you can see the kind of like suggestion of 2 people who are talking animatedly to each other. So that is that on that. You can also see from where you are right now 2 horses that are tied up and unattended. They're around the corner of the guards, but they're in eye shot, view. The guards would be able to, you would imagine the guards would be able to see them, like the butt or whatever, part of the horse. You can also see a peculiar structure that would require you to do a really good perception check.
I'm gonna do that.
To be able to tell what it is. You can only see like a small chunk.
19.
Holy crap. you see a carriage. The reason that you know it's a carriage is because it is a carriage that looks very much, the only part of it that you can see looks very much like the one that you were in earlier.
Okay.
And so it's like ornately whatever, and you can only see a bit of it, but because you saw that bit earlier with a carriage attached to it, you're kind of putting 2 and 2 together with a 19 perception check. And that is on the other side of the guards in the front door.
Okay.
So it goes from your vantage point to moving to the right, 2 horses tied up, guards, door, torches, and carriage.
Okay. And then is this like a wooded area, or is it like it's like clear, like you could see for a really long distance?
It is wooded nearby.
Okay.
But you would have to make it to the tree line type situation without being seen. And that would require some rolls. Because these are only the people and things that you can see.
Yeah.
Like from your vantage point.
Yeah.
We got a 19. You can see that, you can tell from the horses' condition, the ones that are just tied up outside, that they have recently been given water. So that would maybe indicate to you that there was someone doing that walking around nearby. Because they're like slurping on that good water. Do you have any thoughts about that? Like, are you going to try and like, I don't know if this is a thing that you can do, but I'm going to let you kind of like do a Princess Peach about it and like pick a spot to try and like, you won't be able to get meaningfully like land on top of the carriage, but you'll be able to like, start something.
I think that she's gonna try the horses because I think in her head she's like, a horse can go a lot faster than I can, and
that's true.
I'll get to town a lot faster. Also, I rather like horses. Horses are pretty nice, and when I went into town, I was riding on a horse, and they were really nice, and I feel like I would know how to ride this one because I've been sitting on horses before.
Have you ridden a horse, Tavumile?
Who knows?
Okay. Well, you've sat on one, certainly.
Probably, yes, because on a farm you have to plow fields, and I don't think that I mean, you can plow fields by hand, but the vastness of how many fields she has, she probably has a freaking horse. Okay, or something similar.
So she's pretty savvy, horse savvy. Okay, cool. So, you're kind of moving in that direction. You can feel like, even though your body is not anything, you can feel yourself kind of being part of the wind as you kind of get to the ground. And as you get to the ground, you ever so slightly slow down.
Okay.
Like, what is it? Cats flip over so that they can reach terminal velocity faster.
Oh, like they twist their body.
Yeah, so that they can hit the ground before reaching the fastest that they could reach.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. This is that. Oh, I guess you wouldn't slow down then. You do. Okay, ignore my cat thing. You slow down just like a tiny little bit. It's like the afterburners kick in, and then you kind of just like settle onto the ground. And so when that happens, you're landing in some like knee ankle high, like between there, yellow crunchy grass.
Okay.
So go ahead and roll a luck check to see if you make a sound.
Okay. 3.
Okay. So when you hit the ground, one of your feet lands in a patch of this grass, and you make the requisite kind of like,
yeah,
grass crunchies, whatever sound. And the other foot lands in a sort of muddy puddle, type affair of like, maybe some cart drug through the ground and it left like a little patch right here, and so it's a very sort of like sloppy wet, like kind of sound. Let me see if people hear you.
Okay. Holy crap, that's so many rolls.
Well, when you land in this grass, 1 foot in the grass, 1 foot in the, you are facing away from the wall. And what way are you facing, actually, since that's your choice?
facing towards the stables.
Oh yeah, like you're facing towards like where the horses are. So as you kind of alight onto the ground, you hear a someone that is behind you turn around, and as he turns around, you're not facing him. He's a guy. You get to know that.
Okay.
You're not facing him. You're facing the horses. You hear him turn around, and then you hear, oh, where did you come from?
Oh, I was just walking around.
What are you?
I'm gonna turn around to look at him.
Wait a minute.
Hello.
Are you?
What's your name?
No. What's going on here? You're not supposed to be out here. He has a bucket. And he's got like hay underneath one arm and a bucket underneath the other arm. And he kind of like, he puts the bucket down. And he starts just kind of like giving you like a looking at you kind of sideways and like looking around. What are you doing out here? What's going on?
Well, I was pushed out the window, so
what?
I don't know. I think that I really don't know why he pushed me out the window. I think that it just happened, and I did want to be outside because I saw
the window.
Yes.
He's gonna like look back up. There's not a window for much.
Yeah.
Like and he's just like pushed you out the window.
Mm-hmm. I worked on a potion that would let me not die, I guess, if I fell from a large height. I worked on it because Lucian said that I was really clumsy, and I fell off of the roof of my house one time and I rolled my ankle, and so I thought that it might be a good potion to make.
Okay, well, he's gonna like kind of start slowly walking towards you as you're talking, just like with his hands kind of like not up, like don't be afraid, but just kind of like in ready position. And he's gonna be like, okay, well, I don't know what on earth you're doing outside and why you're in a uniform, but let's go ahead and go back inside, okay?
Oh, I really don't want to. Is it all right if I stay out a little bit? And I'm gonna cast friends. Try to, I'm freaking friends galore.
Yeah, friends galore, dude.
To try to convince him to just let me hang out outside. Like, I really like horses, and they wouldn't let me ride the horse when we were coming here. I guess because I don't really know why. I rode the horse when I was coming into town, and horses are really nice and they're really comforting.
He's still like walking towards you as you say.
I think that with everything that I've been told tonight, I could use a little bit of comforting.
Oh, jeez. Okay, and you said you cast it?
Yeah, cast friends.
So you get advantage to the persuasion?
Yeah.
That's what we determined 2,000 years ago? Cool.
18. It was a nat 1 or a 14, so
wow.
plus 4, 18.
You said an 18?
Yeah.
He rolled a 17. Wow, okay.
Hackles are raised, but not enough.
Not enough, man. I think we'll say, just for the flavor of it, that when you say, what I've been through tonight, you know, he's just like, oh, snap, okay. Maybe this was like something that was supposed to happen and nobody told me because I'd take care of the horses. Why would they? Okay, I was told at least you'd have some sort of escort with you. It just sort of turned you loose outside.
Well, like I said, I was pushed out the window, so I think that they're probably on their way.
Right. Still not really. Anyway, so horses. You said you wanted to meet them?
Yes. If you had stuff to do, that's all right. I'll just pet them a little bit and then probably just sit down and talk to them a little bit.
Well, I'll sort of stay with you at least until the night.
No, it's okay. I think because friends is I still got persuasion for.
Oh, is that
yeah.
Okay? Roll me an advantage persuasion then. See if you can beat this jerk.
22.
2. Jeez, freaking! What? My recourse is nothing. I just okay. He's gonna be like, well, this all checks out. Well, I mean, I suppose that'd be okay. Just sort of, look.
Yeah, I don't want to keep you from what you're doing because I know that a job is very important, and if you, put it off, then you'll have more to do later.
Okay, well, how about this? You go sort of do your thing, and I'm going to go find this knight and see what they're doing. And
all right.
Okay. have you ever ridden a horse before?
Oh, I have horses back home. I have one. Her name is Barley.
Okay. Well, here, yes. Okay, so I'll go find that knight, and then let me just tell one of the guards to sort of keep an eye on you, because I don't know what on earth
They
is
don't
going
need to
on.
keep an eye on me.
Gonna do that one more
Do
time.
it again, dude.
18.
Jeez, we got a friggin' 12. Okay, I'm feeling sort of strangely at the moment, but...
Well, why don't you go find the knight, and then maybe they could help you feel a little bit better, because then somebody would be watching me.
Okay, so this sort of feels wrong, but right at the same time. I don't know. I'll be right back.
All right.
If you want, you can feed them some hay.
Oh, I would love that.
That might be nice. Okay, I'm going to be right back.
All right.
And you hear him. He's sort of like, the horses are off to the side. And there's he kind of like walks around you in front of you.
Yeah.
And so as he says that, you're kind of like turning to face him.
Yeah.
He's going to walk in front of you, walk around to where the guards are in that front door, and you can hear that he's having a conversation with one of the guards. You can perceive that or not.
Yeah, I will.
Okay.
17.
Good. Okay. And my DC for that was 15, so yeah.
I rolled a 15.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Tavumile's like, I'm getting that. So as he walks around the front, you can hear him sort of talking to one of the guards, and he's like, "Are you okay? What's going on? You're going inside of the horses?" And he's like, "Oh yes, I sort of have something to do that. I have to use the bathroom or something." Okay, well, you do that. We'll be out here. Anyway, that was strange. You can imagine that he kind of walked inside, and they are going to continue to sort of like be like, that was sort of weird.
Yeah.
Well, can you believe, and they start to kind of launch into more conversation. You can continue listening, or you can force it up.
I think that she maybe like sort of listens, like not super where she's just standing trying to hear, but she's definitely gonna immediately go up to the horses and like be like,
I really hope that you're all right with going somewhere. I know that this is your home, but I hope that Waypoint Town can become a home for you, because I'm not sure how I'm going to get you back here.
And like she's like petting the sides of the horse's face and like giving them a little bit of hay, and she starts untying one of the horses.
Okay. So what are I love this, by the way, the idea that you're sort of listening.
Yeah.
What are conversation topics that would pique Tavumile's interest?
I think obviously anything about Lucian or her mom.
Okay.
Or even her, like what the situation is.
Are you listening for names?
I think that if somebody was passively listening and they heard a name that they recognized, it would immediately come into focus. So I think that she's not really thinking that she's going to hear anything. She's not like, oh, they might be like, she has no ulterior motive. She's just kind of like, people are talking and I can hear them and I'm doing my own stuff. But if I hear something that is pertaining to my situation, all of a sudden I can hear a little bit better.
Okay, roll a disadvantage investigation check.
Okay. 8.
Okay, you don't hear anything of note that kind of piques your interest as you're doing this. You just hear them sort of generally saying like, like nothing. They're saying stuff and it doesn't tick anything with you because you're so focused on your task at hand. So you're gonna untie one of the horses. There are 2 horses. One of them is brown and one of them is dappled gray. Which one are you gonna take?
The dappled gray.
The dappled gray horse. Great. So as you go to untie this horse, you know that this potion of friends lasts 1 minute.
Yeah.
You also know that after a minute, he will, as we have discussed, he will know that you used magic on him.
And she does know this, so she's trying to do this a little bit
expedited.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So, you are the other thing about this horse, riding a horse, is that you are going to have to stealth on a horse.
Do I? I mean, I could just... They can know I left. and be fast about it.
That's fine. I'm fine for that to happen. There is an additional horse there.
That's true.
So
I think that she would try
something about that.
Break it free. I think that maybe. How much more time would it be to untie the other horse?
I would say that you can untie both horses in 10 seconds a pop.
Okay.
And then you'll have one round of coming up with something to do to get the horse number 1 to bounce, because the horse isn't going to just be like, cool, bye.
Yeah.
You just stand there. And then your round of leaving will be someone will be looking for you, because they will be like, wait, what? Wait, what's going on? That type of thing. Or you cannot untie the second horse and get away with a little bit of a buffer. But then that means someone could give chase. There is also a carriage, so they could give chase anyway. Technically, it just, they'd be in a carriage as opposed to a single horse.
Well, with the carriage, wouldn't they would need the horse, right?
I think decarriaging a horse takes a chunk of time,
Oh, so the carriage still has horses attached to it?
Yeah, the carriage, so, like, that you would imagine, these are not the horses from the carriage, which I guess is something that Tavumile wouldn't necessarily know, but I didn't think about that, like, that wouldn't be evident to you.
Okay.
So now you can know that.
Okay. I'm going to undo both of the horses. I'm going to get on the dappled horse, and I'm going to, like, she knows how to make a horse go, so she's going to do whatever the heck that is. But also, I think that she is going to, right before she leaves, like, you know how when you, like, untie a horse and then you, like, smack its
butt?
Yeah, to, like, make it run. I think that she's going to do that for the horse and be like,
I know that horses are really good at finding their way back home if you just let them take a little bit of time. You're kind of like me.
And then just, like, cocks her head a little bit and she's like, maybe I'm a horse. And then...
And then she escapes from the kidnapping. Okay, cool. So so this is the order of operations here. You untie horse 1. You untie horse 2. Your idea of scaring the horse away is give it a big booty slap.
Yeah.
And then you're going to bounce on horse 2.
Yeah.
Unstealthily. You're just full tilt, 0 to 100, just going for it.
And a horse has a better running speed than 30 feet.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah. Not than another horse.
No.
But then the person, okay, cool. So, freaking, we'll say they're tied in a knot. You can untie the horse. They were tied to be able to be untied. So I'm not going to make you roll for untying the horses. I am going to make you roll to see if the butt slap will scare the horse enough to make it run away.
Okay. Is that animal handling?
Yeah, let's do animal handling. Your DC is going to be, we'll say like 10, but you know stuff about horses, so you can roll with advantage.
Okay. 15.
Okay, cool. So
I got a 10 and a 15, so either way, that was great.
Got you. I'm going to say that when you smack this horse's butt, it does a little, like, horse noise. And then it takes off. And because you rolled a 15, which 5 of the DC is pretty good, is there a direction you were aiming it in?
Ooh, I hope that it takes off where it runs in front of the guards. And
so they're
that
like,
direction.
What the heck?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So the direction, here's where we are. Tower, guards are in front. The guards, like I said, it was horses, guards, carriage. They're all in front of the tower. The carriage is pointing in the direction of town, and town is the way that you would be sending, like, not exactly back on the road to town, but like right past it is where you would be sending the horse if it was running in front of the guards.
Okay.
So you could send it so that they could see it, but if it just went straight out perpendicular, then that would, I think, achieve your goal.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay, cool.
I just want them to, like, briefly have their attention on that horse.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So you smack the horse's butt. Horse friggin' blasts out of there. No horse noises. You vaguely hear the guards kind of like clink clink, and they're just like, whoa, there's bloody horses. Wait, hold on. And as they say that, you hear a semi-familiar voice going, wait, where is she? She's still here? What's going on? The bloody horse. And then now it's... Okay, cool. So, how are you leaving? Like, around the back type situation? You could go around the front where they could see you, or you could go around the back and it would be equidistant. Like, it wouldn't
it would be the same. It wouldn't take longer?
It wouldn't take longer.
Okay, then I'll do that.
Okay, yeah. So as you start clippity-clopping around the back, you are not trying to be quiet about it, right? Okay, cool. I'm going to have them roll to see if they notice that's going on, and they're going to roll straight because even though they're distracted, you are being not. So this is going to be a few rolls.
Okay.
When you start clippity-clopping away, as you round behind the tower and you make off in the direction of town, you hear 3 individual voices kind of like move in that direction, be like, what on earth is going on? The horses, what have you been doing? You know, like general noises of distress that are kind of like fading rapidly into the background as you just peel off on this horse. Okay. Cool. So
sweet. Okay.
That went great for you, as far as you know. Cool. So you are clippity-clopping. Your direction of travel is Waypoint Town. You're trying to go back into town. Yeah. Okay, cool. So, as you kind of go, it's very like yellow grass, rocky kind of terrain, and then the path that's kind of carved into that is like a kind of like gray, dusty path, just like a path that was created for this purpose. You know, it's not supposed to look any type of way. Yeah. And you can see the town is so close that you can clearly make out like individual buildings. Okay. You can even you get a sense of where the ball is taking place at because it is the lighted part of town. Okay. And that is kind of like as you're galloping along, that like is coming more and more into view. Yeah. But it will take you a while to get there, even full tilt mode. Okay. And so we're gonna cut over to some other folks. So this is gonna be a bit of a flashback just for the sake of continuity, because I can't do 2 things at once. Barbielle, you see Tavumile get pushed out of the window, and you don't make a move at all. Arliss, who is functionally your legs right now, is at your mercy because she doesn't really have a sense of what's going on. And the last thing that happened was that you balled your fist up in the back of this elf who just pushed out the window.
And I think that I am also holding my staff to like his neck.
Okay, so you're full, like, we're gonna do something about this mode. And the reason that you decided to do that instead of just killing him or whatever was because he said that he would take the blame, right? Okay, cool. So, as you go to do that, you, like, ball your fist up in his shirt, you put the staff next to his neck, he is going to kind of, like, round on you and go, get your bloody fist out of my shirt. Look, you don't have to lock me down or what have you. If I don't tell him I did it, he's gonna like the shifty eyes, and kind of give you like a come down to my level, you're taller than me thing going on.
I lean just a little bit.
He just goes, I won't get my reward, okay? So you don't have to worry about anything.
She's going to cock her head, as in like a, what do you mean?
In a very like unknightly manner. Yeah. And he's gonna do some more like shifty eyes. He's gonna roll a perception check. Do some like shifty eyes, like peeking around corners and stuff nonsense, and he's gonna pull you back into the shadows of the ballista kind of thing. And he's gonna like grab part of your helmet and yank it down to his level. And he's gonna say, look, I don't like the way you're looking at me. What if I cut you in? Huh? Would that do it for you or something?
She cocks her head even more and, like, shakes it, like, confused. Like, somebody being like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, I mean, clearly you agree with me. You agree with us. Are you wrong? Am I wrong? Look, we all know you bloody talk. Just say you talk to each other all the time. Just tell me what you're thinking. You want to roll a perception check?
Yeah, that one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, so basically what that means is that you have no idea if they bloody talk or not. Like, it's not like you're like, oh, is he getting me to talk when I'm not supposed to? You have no idea. You're looking at him and he's like, we know you bloody talk, tell me what you're thinking. And you're like, I don't know anything about that.
I think that she is going to take her hand, point to her face, and like do like the across the throat, like no, mouth no, like point to mouth.
Yeah.
I don't talk kind of thing.
Oh my goodness, this is quite a character you are. Not King's God, but sort of down for something like this. I don't understand. Anyway, look, you saw me do something, right?
Shakes head, yes.
You're planning on sort of turning me in?
Shakes head, yes.
Okay, but what if I cut you in?
She's going to she's still holding on to him, and she's going to hand in front of chest being open, what are you talking about? She's gonna point to her head and be like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Listen, we'll go tell Fireath together, okay?
Freaking another
He's rolling his eyes. He recognizes the significance of a member of the King's Guard, being on his side. Just follow me, okay? And stop being so weird.
She kind of puts her, gives him a side glance and head down to be a little threatening, I don't trust you that much. Stand up to her full height and kind of show him the staff and be like I won't hesitate kind of demeanor, if this is something.
Okay, he's gonna kind of give you a frickin' confused and angry look,
Mm-hmm.
and he's gonna kind of just square up with you and say, aren't you the bloody knife that was supposed to be watching her in the first place? If I say you bloody pushed out the window, you don't have the ability to...
She picks him up with her shirt because she's freaking strong.
Listen, either you're going to do it or they are if they find out what happened. So
kill him?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He's lifted into the air as he says that because he's like, my life is forfeit if you rat me out. He's gonna put two hands on your shoulders and be like, there are two ways that can you put me down? It's uncomfortable.
She slowly puts him down but doesn't let go of the shirt.
Thank you. There are two ways that we can go about this, okay? Way one, you get in trouble and I die. Way two, we both become rich. You stupid bloody knight. What do you want?
I think that the way that she's thinking about this is that if she turns him in, she knows that there will be some strife that she will have to deal with. And that increases the possibility of them making her take her armor off or something to where maybe it would be more obvious, or easier to tell that they're not really a knight. I think that the thing that she definitely wants to do is just leave.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that is her end goal, but being able to casually just leave is a lot harder. And so I think that what she's going to do is follow this guy who's doing something that he knows he's not supposed to do. And hopefully this will lead her to a way that she can just bounce.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So, what do you do kind of as a response to him saying that?
I think that she slowly lets go and then does two fingers pointing to her eyes and then points them towards him and then points to her staff.
Mm-hmm. He's gonna just kind of brush himself off and he's gonna be like, I knew there wasn't, the most opportune moment, but It sort of was, and I've never done this before, so I knew that this was going to be a mess. Why can't you just be cooperative? And he's going to, like, kind of, like, sadly drop his head, like, anime sweat drop, and give you, like, a follow me little finger thing. And gonna just kind of, like, head down, start walking off in a direction that you don't know.
Okay.
So you're just gonna kind of follow him as he does this?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So you're walking through the kind of hallways, and he's checking here and there some places, like kind of putting his head around the corner. And he seems to be having trouble finding whatever it is that he's looking for.
Okay.
He's not asking anybody, though. Like, hey, where is this?
Yeah.
Or what is going on? He's just kind of, like, going around. And you were upstairs. You went more upstairs to a specific place that was specific to him, but not to you. You went downstairs to another place. He wasn't there. You're going back upstairs now, and he's kind of giving you, like, an apologetic, I don't know, kind of look. Are you just going to keep following as he, like, looks for this
person?
that
she's going to kind of grab his shoulder and turn him around and, like, put her hands up in the air, like, well,
oh yeah, like what the deal is.
Yeah,
look, I'm trying to find him. I heard he's gonna, like, kind of, like, pull you around the thing, and he's gonna be like, I heard that he just arrived, and I'm sure they're just making a pit stop to drag the Major to the ball, you know, but I bet I know where they are. And he's gonna, like, keep, like, moving you in that direction.
Okay.
And so as he does that, he gets to a door that is shut and locked, and there are two knights standing outside that are in different armor than the Kingsguard, like the ones that don't, like you, for example. But they're still very, like, ornate and fancy schmancy looking. And they both have on their armor like tabards with a big F on the front, like big ornately decorated looking F.
Does Barbielle have any clue what that is indicative of?
I'll let you roll a history check.
Okay. 10.
She saw just in the barracks when she stole her own armor that she's wearing right now, just that armor. She didn't see any other different looking sets of armor. So there are those two knights outside. They don't look like this person that you are with is just sort of walking up to the door. Like, he doesn't look that bothered. Like, he's like they're not gonna stop him or something. And he's just gonna kind of, like, walk up to the door and say to one of the knights, is Fireath, and they, like, before he finishes his sentence, you can hear talking on the other side of the door.
Okay.
So you can either, like, clearly this guy is not gonna, like, open the door and be like, hey, it's me. He's just kind of, like, standing there awkwardly now.
Yeah. Is the talking on the other side of the door one person, or is it multiple people?
It's multiple people.
Okay.
And so, he's gonna, like, give you, like, because the knights are fully, like, looking at you guys. He's gonna, like, look back at you and look back at them and look back at you again, and then kind of, like, make a face about it, and then just, like, shrug and just keep standing outside, like, waiting for the conversation to end. So you can do whatever you want. You can go away and do whatever. You can listen into the conversation. You can do whatever you want to do.
I think that to the other knights, I give them each, like, a little how do you do nod, like a real recognizes real kind of thing. And I'm going to continue to stand next to him and listen to what's being said. Okay,
go ahead, roll a perception check.
11.
Okay, so you can hear on the other side of the door a voice that is familiar to you, which you have heard Frenthius's voice. And you can hear an additional voice, and they are talking sort of like, you can tell when it's all very, like, tight. Like, you can tell when someone is angry at someone, even though you cannot see them, and they are speaking politely to each other because of the nature of the way that they're saying things.
Also, what was the name that he said to Barbielle?
Fireath.
Okay, I was like, wait, did they say Frenthius? And I just fully didn't clock that? No, okay.
It was Fireath. Yeah. And so you hear this new voice that you had not heard before say, Frenthius, really, what on earth has you held up this late? People are going to suspect something. If a major doesn't make an appearance at the king's first official appearance at Waypoint Town, the bastion of intercultural life, the dwarves, the Eladrin, they'll certainly take notice. Not to mention the king's father. If he suspects something, you can roll investigation to hear if you miss this next part.
5.
Okay. You hear a whisper chunk after that.
All right.
And then you hear a familiar voice say, "Yes, sir, I understand. I suppose I was rather distracted with some research. Frenthius, please leave finding a cure to this damnable issue to someone whose job is not to protect king and country." And then you don't hear anything for a while.
Okay.
And then you hear, you cannot, for the good of one tiny family, endanger the lives of all of our kinsmen, endanger the lives of all of the inhabitants of Yennefer, the king, and then you hear, "I understand. I will make ready at once."
For the good of once. What the fuck is happening, man?
"I've allowed the girl to roam the tower with one of the king's guard." "Oh, my dear Frenthius, whatever for? Why do you give her such freedom? One of the soldiers even mentioned she used some sort of potion on him. I, of course, cannot believe that. Yes, she used one on me as well. I told you we were going to talk about it. Frenthius, did you not search her personal belongings? It was a simple friendship potion. Why would you not confiscate, sir? I did not look closely at her personal belongings. She is a young girl who we brought here drugged and asleep. It is unsafe for the men. With all due respect, sir, they are soldiers. She is a young girl, and we burned down her house and kidnapped her only family." Do you keep listening?
Yeah.
I'll give you like an eject button if you're like, not that interesting.
No, I think Barbielle's like, holy shit.
Crap, this goes deep,
and also,
bro.
what is she gonna do? Like, if I just walk away now, this guy is gonna be like, "Where are you going?"
Yeah,
kind of thing.
the other guy also is like looking like kind of like at the door.
Yeah.
And he's looking at the guards there, the knights there, and he's like kind of looking back at you, and he's going like, "Mommy and Daddy are fighting."
Yeah.
Face. "You allow your feelings to prevent you from carrying out your duty. I have simply to summon the guard and have her locked back up in her room. No need. In truth, I discovered her walking around on my way up to you, and I had her escorted back to her room already."
What the fuck?
I suppose I rolled something.
Yeah.
I suppose there is no need then to delay in moving her mother. I'm sure my men are more than capable of handling that without me. The arrangements are in order. I need only to say the word. Excellent. And you can hear the sound of someone standing up. "The carriage is waiting to take us to the ball." And you can hear people gathering whatever it is that they needed.
All right.
And they're...
I think Barbielle is like crying a little bit because I think that she's like, did we make a, what is happening? I'm so confused.
Did we make a oopsie?
Yeah, did we make the right choice?
Why does Barbielle concerned about the choice that she may or may not have made?
I think that she's concerned about it because I think that she understands that Tavumile doesn't know anything. I think that she understands that Tavumile has a very baseline perception of everything about her life, and she gets told something and is just like, well, that must be true.
Mm-hmm.
And or at least, you know, obviously that is what Barbielle got from talking to Tavumile. And I think that from hearing this conversation, they think that they are doing something good, maybe, for this family that they are speaking of, which I think Barbielle has meant in her head the Fenra family.
Yeah.
And then they were talking about a cure to something, and Tavumile had mentioned her mom being sick and the possibility that Lady Gwynth let her go here, or like had them come here because she had mentioned that the Uwethwei clan had good healers. And then they're talking about this cure for something. They're talking about him personal feelings about the mom and all of that. And then obviously she has no clue whether or not what he said about Tavumile was true.
Oh, yeah,
because
for sure.
Maybe, yeah, that did happen. And so I think that Barbielle is kind of like, we got involved with something that we didn't understand at all. And I still don't understand it, but it doesn't seem to be the understanding that I had created in my mind. It seems to be something else. And I think that, she very much went along with it because of Arliss, and Arliss convincing her that they couldn't just leave without her, that they had to help her. And now that she is putting her sister first because she has a little bit more control with their situation, I think that she is like, I think that we've made some bad moves, and I have possibly put my sister in a lot of danger, because if this is for the good of something, if this is actually legit, a good thing, a legit thing,
we got problems.
Like I helped ruin something that might be a good thing, but then also maybe it's not a good thing, and then this is still bad, because like talking about the money and the like there was a hit placed on Tavumile, so it's like, holy crap, we really got wrapped up in something. Like Arliss had this damsel in distress and we are the heroic knight idea in her head, and Barbielle couldn't really do anything about it.
Yeah.
And now Barbielle's like, this is not a fairy tale. This is something that is complex and weird. And Arliss kept talking about we might start a war.
Yeah.
And
Arliss, after the push out the window, which Arliss got sort of like an amount of understanding because Tavumile wasn't there anymore.
Yeah.
But she was also very listening to like this guy say, I'll cut you in, all that stuff.
Yeah.
This whole time she's been dead silent because she's terrified of making anything, like making your life hard.
Yeah.
Because you could make her life hard and she would be able to figure it out. Like that's how she feels. But because you're in charge, she's like, let me just go with you, with what's going on. And so the whole time she's just sort of been looking up at you concernedly to be like, do you want to switch?
Yeah.
Are you good? Are we good? So as you hear the ending of this conversation and this guy, I wish I made him say his name so I could say his name, standing outside looking at the knights and looking at you and looking at himself and going, wow, this really is something.
Yeah.
The door opens and out comes Frenthius, who you know what he looks like. He walks out first. Roll a perception check.
Okay. 6.
He looks constipated. You're like, wow, that guy must be really constipated.
Okay.
That must be what's going on.
Barbielle's like, I feel that I haven't been able to use the restroom in how long have I been in this suit of armor?
He must be lactose intolerant. That must be what's going on. He is like brow furrowed, just like looking like middle distance.
Yeah.
And he like kind of sees that you guys are there and looks like annoyed about it because he's like, what?
Yeah.
What must this be? And he doesn't give you pay any mind. He just walks, walking in that direction. And out from behind him, Frenthius is wearing a relatively simple soldier's uniform. He's a major, so it's a little bit more snazzy than prior.
And what does he look like again? Like, physically wise?
Gosh, I have it written down what I had said before and I don't remember, so if this is wrong, then because I definitely described him. But we'll describe him again. He has really light hair, like even for a high elf. That is just in like a long kind of ponytail situation. This is what he looks like now.
Okay.
Just saying. Long kind of like ponytail situation, and he's got like medium kind of like greenish goldish skin.
Okay.
And he looks very like those pictures of people before and after they go through trauma. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
He looks like the after picture. Like he looks like kind of like 1,000-yard stare flirting at the corner of his eyes all the time. just like permanent brow furrow, like crow's feet type, very like my mouth is a straight line at all times. And then he's tall. He's like 6'4", like he's pretty tall. And then he's just like that kind of uniform, like slightly fancier soldier's uniform.
Okay.
And from behind him comes this other figure who is much shorter.
Okay.
He's like a high elf, clearly from the way that he looks, but he is like 5'7".
Okay.
He's a short dude, especially for a high elf. And he has kind of like lightish green, like mint colored skin.
Okay.
Completely like white hair that has just the tiniest hint of some color, like a golden color to it. And he looks like he has like a permanent sort of smile, like his lips naturally like resting smile face. Which sort of does not work with the rest of his vibes.
Yeah.
And he's got like downturn angy eyebrows.
Yeah.
He has pale green eyes. So it's all very like piercing.
Yeah.
And he has, most notably, which is why I said it last, a thick white scar that goes from one of his it's like across one of his eyes, and it's like from the forehead and then like forehead and like down his cheek.
Okay.
Kind of. And this guy walks out from behind him. He's wearing still like Uwethwei purple and green. The green is slightly darker, and he has a long cape.
Okay.
Because he's swaggy like that. And he's looking at the back of Frenthius with sort of like a twinkle in his eye, like he's like, I'm in control of this situation. And as Frenthius didn't pay you any mind, keeps walking. This guy looks at the other guy whose name you don't know. You would imagine that this was Fireath. Fireath looks at the other guy whose name you have not heard, and gives him a look, and then kind of looks at you and gives you a different type of look. If you want to perceive those, you just roll them in one check.
9.
When he looks at the first guy, he looks sort of like he's greeting him to an extent. Just sort of like a little like slight head nod and like a twitch like of a smile.
Yeah.
And then he clearly clocked him first and then kind of moved on to you and did some sort of mental math in his head and kind of gave you like a eye narrow but still very polite and controlled, so it could just be like, hi, why are you standing outside of here? But you got the vibes that there was some description, a relationship between him and the first guy, like whatever that may look like. The other guy is just like looking at him and looking at Fireath and looking at the other, or Frenthius, looking at the guards and just also looking at you and looking everywhere at once. And the Fireath kind of, after looking at you, just keeps following Frenthius, and they sweep around the corner. Presumably they're going to aforementioned carriage to go to the ball. The guy is going to kind of like look around. The two knights like let them get a distance, and then they file into one line and follow them out of that hallway. And when that happens,
I think Barbielle's gonna follow. I think that she's going to leave that guy and try to play it off as like, I was here because I was told that you were up here and I need to escort you to the ball.
Oh, okay, got it. So you're following them. So when you go to do that, he's gonna like grab onto you and try and like yank you back.
She's gonna shrug him off and
roll a perception check.
All right. 17.
Okay. You know that he wants to tell you something very urgently. If you don't care, that's fine. But you can tell that he's like, wait, I gotta tell you, I have to tell you something. If you don't care, that's fine.
She's gonna kind of do the hand motion, like hurry it up, like give it,
Yeah. And he's gonna be like, look, he didn't know that you were involved, right? So when I go to tell him, just sort of stand around the corner, or else he might not understand why I'm talking about this sort of thing in front of you. You get that, right?
She's gonna just, like, splay out her hands like a, I don't fucking care, and then turn and walk.
He's gonna, like, be like, this is a disaster.
Yeah.
So you're just walking in a line behind these other knights. This other guy is kind of, like, casually going behind you, too. It goes in this parade.
Yeah.
Frenthius, Fireath, the two knights with Fireath, you, and then this other guy.
Yeah.
Arliss is, like, pulling on your leg a little bit and is trying to, like, communicate something to you wordlessly because she's so, like, I don't want any. We're in a tube right now. She's just, like, grabbing your foot, like, what the fuck
I'm gonna look down
on?
a little bit and just be like, I don't know.
Yeah. So as you kind of walk on in this column, you walk through in this procession through the you were kind of like in the middle of the tower. You walk down the stairs. General soldiers sort of attentioning as you all walk past in this procession, and then you get to the doorway. And so when you get to the doorway, they go out the door. You see Frenthius go out the door, sees the carriage, life is good. You see Fireath go out the door, going in the direction of the carriage. The two knights who are following them, and you're picking up on a vibe that they're sort of confused about y'all following them. So as the Fireath goes to walk, like, fully out the door to the carriage, you hear one of the guards outside, you can tell it's outside, say, "Sir, Colonel, and then the Fireath is going to, you see him turn, and he's like, "Yes, what is it, soldier?" And he goes, "You received a letter, sir. Here you go." And he's gonna, like, hand him a letter.
Yeah.
And you can, as you're kind of walking that way, the two knights stop outside of the door and are just facing the wall because they're like, maybe somebody else, we're gonna be polite, somebody else might get. So you can kind of see what's going on out the door. And he's like, "Ooh, yes, thank you." And he's gonna, like, unroll it and read it. And when he reads it, Frenthius is gonna kind of, like, turn. You hear footsteps stop, and you can hear, like, see out the door Frenthius, like, stopping and looking back. And Fireath goes, "I'll be with you in a moment, Frenthius. Just get into the bloody carriage." The second part was, like, kind of under his breath.
Yeah.
And you see him read this thing, and as he reads it, it's just like a little tiny scroll. I'm gonna roll something real quick. He's gonna, like, sort of, lip curl up and like give sort of like a nasty smile. Okay. Go ahead and roll perception.
Yeah. 6.
Okay, yeah. It's sort of like the smile that you find out when the girl you hate in high school gets an F on a math test. You're just like, okay, that's fine. Don't be like that. But nevertheless, he sort of looks back up at the soldier and says, "Thank you. Seems like tonight's going to be rather busy after all." He's gonna turn to go back into the thing as he sees, like, that you and this guy are still there and the two knights. He's going to kind of, like, motion to you, like, look up at you and actually acknowledge your presence and motion to you to come outside.
Okay.
He's not really motioning to you.
Yeah.
You can see he's motioning to this other person. And he's just giving him sort of like a, one hand scoop.
Barbielle is going to walk outside, but then make for the carriage, like, go towards the carriage. Like, she's like, "I am an escort for the man in there. I've been I'm gonna do my duty.
Okay, so as you do that, the two knights who are on the outside are gonna go through the door first when Frenthius kind of waves you through. And those two knights are going to stand outside of either door of the carriage. Roll a perception check on that.
All right, 16.
Ain't nobody getting in, ain't nobody getting out. So Frenthius is in the carriage, and there's two knights on either side. So as you walk, as you go to walk out the door, this guy, I hate this so much that you don't know his name. He was kind of behind you, and so when you go to walk out the door, he kind of tries to get in front of you and go first.
Okay.
So he can like do something.
Yeah.
You can let him go first, or you can like pick up the pace.
I'm gonna pick up the pace.
Okay, cool. So he fully can't get around. You hear him go, okay, I have, not very good listening skills. And he's just gonna like kind of follow you out. The two guards who are on either side of the thing, who were standing there and who gave him the letter in the first place, he's going to look at them and be like, aren't you two rather, hungry, tired? Why don't you have a break? I'll have my men watch the front door for now. And they sort of look at him and look at each other and look at him, and he's going to kind of cross his arms, and they look at each other, and then they just go inside.
Okay.
And so they kind of duck and go inside. They go past you, and they're like, maybe she's the, I don't know, the knight, the armor. And then the other guy, and this guy is going to kind of go down the stairs, as Fireath is kind of like motioning him to come with him, and he goes to go. You're kind of like in front in this line, but he's kind of like perplexed about you, and he kind of walks around the side of the tower to where the horses were.
Okay.
And there are no horses there.
Yeah.
Now, for obvious reasons, and there is do you follow?
Yeah.
Okay, so as you kind of walk in that direction, you see.
Well,
yeah.
Do I get the sense that if I were to go towards the carriage, that because obviously this guy, it seems to be of higher rank than Frenthius, would it be like I'm not supposed to be over there because there are two more important guards, because they're obviously decorated with something different and they're accompanying this more important guy. So would Barbielle kind of be like, if I were to go over there and be like, I'm also here, they'd be like, no, you're not, would that be...
You're asking me if you get the sense that that's true?
Yeah.
Good, roll for it.
Okay. Insight?
Yeah.
19.
You fully get the sense that it would be extremely noteworthy if you decided to invite yourself to this party.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Then she's gonna follow the guy.
Okay. So as you can get a vibe. I'm not gonna make you roll for it because he wants you to know, and he's putting it out, that Fireath is perplexed by you. The other guy, though, is so at ease with all of this going on that he is like, okay, this must be something, and I'll find out. And as the trio of you walks around to the other side of the tower, you see a guy sitting on an upside-down bucket with kind of like dusty clothes, maybe the clothes that you would be wearing if you were dealing with animals.
Yeah.
Who is, he has a flask of something, who knows what, has one hand over his mouth and is just staring into the middle distance.
Okay.
So as you walk around the corner, you see Fireath go, oh, excuse me, I didn't expect you to, go ahead and, what are you doing here? Who are you?
Yeah.
And the kid guy is gonna kind of like look up at him and like not really realize that it was him, like Fireath, who was talking to him. And he's gonna like look back into the middle distance and then just like teleport to full standing at attention, and he's gonna be like, oh, Colonel, excuse me, I was just having a bit of a drink. Everything's fine and nothing happened.
Roll.
Okay, clearly everything is not fine. So why don't you go ahead and... Goodness, this rather is a busy evening after all. So unfortunately, and I'm ever so sorry, Colonel, I lost the horses. The horses. It was only the horses. Right, well, I'm... Okay, you look rather distressed. Why don't you go inside and get yourself to bed? We do have other horses. Go ahead and just make yourself disappear. Yes, right away. Absolutely sounds lovely. Goodbye. Have a good evening, all. Colonel, the attention salute.
Yeah.
Runs like heck away. And as he kind of like runs around the corner, you hear him go, horses, 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 just the horses. And then like kind of like round the corner and go inside. And as he kind of runs around the corner, this is a colonel, and he looks kind of scary, and as this kid runs around the corner, he turns to you and gives you, like, a, what the heck was that? Like, look. Yeah. And he's got, like, one eyebrow raised, just like, what the frick? Like, it's very cartoonish for this guy that you would not expect. And he's gonna just, like, kind of, like, roll his eyes and look at the guy and say, so, what exactly is this all about?
Barbielle is going to take a hand and push the guy forward, as in, like, you need to freaking get this over with.
You are the representative of... and as he kind of, like, goes up and he goes, well, Ewing? So that's his name.
Ewing?
Ewing.
Ewing.
Yeah, E-W-I-N-G. Ewing. Well, Ewing, how did it go? And Ewing is going to kind of give him, like, a deep, like, reverent bow and say, Colonel, the deed is done. Excellent work. As I stated, you will be rewarded handsomely. And he gives him, like, another meaningful smile.
Okay. Can I roll for that?
Yeah.
Insight or perception?
Perception.
19.
You obviously know what is going on, I would imagine, specifically, that this is the guy who put Ewing up to it in the first place and is going to reward him handsomely. And when he gives that smile, you can tell that there is there's been a lot of talk of it being unsafe or bad that Tavumile is there and left to be there when she shouldn't be, and that has a lot to do with Frenthius' sort of weird sentimentality that nobody seems to be talking about specifics. And so this smile that he gives looks like it's multi-layered. On the one layer, you can tell that he's happy that his plan came to fruition. But the other layer is sort of a smugness that his plans to undermine something went through.
Okay.
So you get the sense that it's not just he's happy that, because he said you're endangering the lives of X, Y, and Z people for this family. So Barbielle could interpret it that he's upset that these people are being presumably endangered, and that's why this had to happen, Tavumile being gone. But when he smiles, you get the sense that there was another meaning for this whole exercise.
Okay.
That you wouldn't be able to know. But you can see that there in his face. And so he says, you will be rewarded handsomely. It does a spooky smile, and he goes, now. He gets closer to him and says, where have you hidden the body? And Ewing is going to eyeballs dinner plates status, just like eyeballs real big. When Fireath said that he got, like, close to him, like when in an anime, when someone's talking to somebody and they're like shoulder to shoulder and their face is like past their
Yeah.
ear. So he can't see Ewing's expression when he kind of does that. You can hear, you can, I guess technically you're behind him, so you wouldn't be able to see it either. But you can see him tense up in a way.
Barbielle is going to take a step forward and point out into the tree line.
He's going to, Fireath is going to, like, he's like not thinking about you as like a part of this. And he's gonna look up at you and say, "Oh, I almost forgot. What is the meaning of this?" And Ewing is gonna be like, "The meaning of so she helped me to sort of." And he's gonna like fully just like throw Ewing to the side and be like, "Oh, is that so interesting? A member of the King's Guard, no less."
He's gonna stand up a little straighter.
Mm-hmm. He's gonna like, Ewing is just like, okay, we're not talking about that anymore.
Yeah.
And he's going to be like, well, I suppose this plan was in good hands after all. You can see Ewing get a little offended when he says that. Now, tell me, we all know that you talk.
She shakes her head no.
He's gonna like, when you do that, he's gonna like give like a mirthless chuckle, and he's going to be like, yes, well, what is it that made you act on your beliefs rather than on what you've been told?
I think that Barbielle will solemnly dip her head as in like an apology, and then point to her mouth, and then again the like hand over throat, like cannot speak.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that she wants to play it off as I'm not doing, I physically cannot speak.
Mm-hmm.
There is something biologically wrong with me, like as in like I can't, but not as in like I don't want to.
Right. He's gonna like chuckle a little bit and say, how interesting, a King's Guard so devoted to their position that they won't even open their mouths when directly questioned by a colonel, but so willing, so pliant mentally to be able to understand sort of different points of view. Yes, this is an enlightening experience for certain. Well, I best not keep Frenthius waiting. Good work, both of you. You've been rewarded handsomely, as I've spoken to you about before. And keep yourselves safe. And he's gonna like step back around the tower, walk kind of past the front door and out of where you can see him.
Okay.
And when after that happens, before anything else happens, Ewing goes, we gotta find that body. Where would it be? It would be around here, wouldn't it?
She's gonna point out into the tree line again, and then start walking that way.
Wait, where are you going? Wait, hold on. What's going on? Did you know something I don't? Wait, hold on. You've got to... And he's gonna like kind of like start following you and be like, what's going on? You've got to help me. Don't you want to be rewarded handsomely? Did you forget about the thing? What? Stop.
She's gonna look behind and be like, shake her head, being like, what do you, just follow kind of thing, like a little head nod of like just follow, and then is walking for the tree line, like straight for the tree line.
What, did you see her? Did you hide her? Or when didn't you leave my sight the entire time? Her body's got to be back there. What on earth are you doing? I mean, shouldn't we at least look around there a bit first?
I think that she's gonna turn around and put like a finger over her where her mouth would be, and then just like do a hand motion of like just follow, like she's getting exasperated. Like,
I don't like this at all. What have I gotten myself into this night? Bloody won't talk to me, and I just need to know what's going on. The body's out there. What if somebody finds it? What if somebody sees the bloody dead body and we're walking to the bloody tree line? And okay, you're at the tree line.
Okay, I'm gonna walk a little bit further into the tree line.
Okay. I don't understand what's going on. It's ridiculous, and we could be back there. We're wasting precious time. What if somebody sees? What if he saw? What if that little horse boy saw?
Is he following?
He's following you. What if that little horse boy saw?
Do I get the sense that people can see me from the tower, or no?
No, they can't.
Okay.
You get this. Roll perception check.
4.
Okay, you are distracted by everything that's going on in your life, but you had trouble finding with Tavumile a window.
Mm-hmm.
That she
Oh,
would be able to
okay,
get out.
yeah.
So you know you don't know anything about the roof of what's going on out there. There is presumably some sort of lookout, but Fireath just had a conversation with you all in hushed tones around the corner. So mum's the word as far as the soldiers it would be, because they're like, well, the friggin' colonel's talking to somebody. I don't want, unless they're particularly nosy or whatever. But presumably you're not out there for nefarious purposes. You would be out there because the colonel was telling you to. Like you're unbothered, but also it's not really on your mind in the first place. Yeah.
Okay. I think that Barbielle was going to kill him initially to pretend like she put up a fight to whatever was happening, because she didn't know what was happening, and so I think that she does not have any qualms with doing that if it means keeping her sister safe. And I think that this was a way for her to get away from the tower, but she knows that this guy's not going to leave her alone because he's like, you're in on something that could get me in trouble. Yeah. And obviously he's going to make her help him find the body.
Yeah.
And so I think that she kind of turns around to face him, looks down at her sister to be like, I'm so sorry, and is going to try to kill him.
Oh, wow. Okay, got it.
And so she's going to attack him with the staff that they have, which I'm assuming is going to follow javelin stats.
No, it's because it's more like a ceremonial, like, hit and stick type thing than like a thing that you would throw. What do you have weapon-wise on that?
Great axe, a hand axe, and a javelin.
Do it as a great axe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and then she's going to go into a rage.
Oh, snap.
And so she's going to roll to hit. A rage, you get +2 bonus on strength-based melee. Oh, damage. Okay, so not. Okay, 15.
Okay, I'm going to say that because he's distracted, you rolled a 2 on that perception check.
Okay.
You can roll with advantage.
All right. 12, so 15.
So, you miss.
Okay.
And when you miss, the great axe thing like whistles in the air next to us. He manages to do he falls to his knees and is like, oh, and then it whistles kind of past his head. And he immediately clocks that something is up.
Yeah.
And he's gonna stand up and look at you and be like, what on earth was that about?
She's gonna do it again.
Oh, snap. Okay, cool. Go ahead, roll initiative.
All right. 6.
Okay, he got a 14.
Okay.
So, when he sees that...
Yeah. I do have to ask, is my, the armor worn, the AC I have for that right now is none, so it's 13, but that's not true because of what we are wearing. So what would my AC actually be?
We'll say your AC, you're wearing heavy armor, right?
Yeah.
We'll say it's 18.
Okay. It's sick.
Well, because, I don't know, heavy armor be heavy. He's gonna, look at you and look at his situation. He has a sword, but you are in heavy armor, and he is in light armor, and he is, freaking blasted out of his mind. And he is going to look at you and see that you're squaring up for another blow. And he goes, "Are you insane?" And he's just gonna defend himself.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then when I see that, I want her to lift up like she will go for another hit, and then in her best elf voice, which might not be good, but she's trying to hide the fact that she has not an elf accent.
Yeah.
She's going to say, run. And just try to scare him into, like, do an intimidation check.
Roll intimidation.
12.
When you say that, and you say, just like, you lift the thing and you say run, he's like, you're just freaking out. Look, you have to calm down. Everything is fine. We just have to hide the body and then we can get paid. He's gonna keep defending. He's not gonna tag you back.
I think that she's going to say, I'll say it one more time. Run.
You're gonna try again?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And that's the last time that she's gonna try.
Okay, good luck with that.
Nat 20.
I rolled a 19! What the heck? I was like, you don't have to roll a nat 20. Okay, cool. So,
holy shit!
that's crazy! Here it is. There's a 19 that I rolled. Wow. Okay, cool. That's why I said good luck. Jeez. Okay, cool. So, when Barbielle says this, it is filtered by an attempt at a British accent, but it's just one word, so it can only suck so hard.
Yeah.
All of the rage and pain of the entire day, the being afraid and not knowing what's going on, all of these emotions. You know, the first one, maybe it took you a second to, like, get your feet underneath you, as it were. When you said it, you weren't believing yourself.
Yeah.
In this moment, you see the doorway to the escaping this entire terrifying situation. All of the entire day created this, like, snowballing problem, and you have been just hanging on for the ride as your sister just keeps, like, capitulating more and more on this tiny little nonsense. And now you have been put in charge of your actions.
Yeah.
You feel all of this just frustration and fear for your sister's life, and kind of condense it all into that one perfect run. And he can't see your face, he can't see your eyes or anything like that, but he imagines that behind that metal skeleton is just pure fury, pure fire. And he tries to, in his mind's eye, he sees gold coins, and he sees you two in it. You were in this together. Now, the idea of him having to go find this body, hide it, keep it all secret, figure out what's going on with you.
Yeah.
What if you blow their cover? All of that fear, he's trying to hold himself in that one spot so that he can convince you to help him and convince you to not blow his cover. And when you say that, it's just like a tidal wave, just completely covering up anything that he could think, anything that you could try and say to get you to say. And he opens his mouth to say something and falters, drops his sword, and busses it off back in the direction of the tower.
Barbielle's like, oh my god, okay. Alright, let's just wait. Just wait 1 second. Just wait.
What's going on?
Just wait 1 second. And she's going to wait until he wouldn't be able to see, like, exits the tree line. And then she rips the armor off and tosses it aside and gets out. Get out. Just get out.
What?
There's nobody here.
What do you mean there's nobody here? She's already taking it off. She's like, what do you mean there's nobody here?
We just have to leave. This is our turn. I got us out.
I got us out?
I got us out.
I don't like that at all. I was supposed to get us out.
Shut up! You got us in this mess in the first place. Of course I'm the one that has to get us out.
It's so embarrassing, though. Where are we leaving the armor?
I don't care. They don't know that it was us. If we just need to leave now. And she's going to take Arliss's hand and start running off in the forest. She just leaves all of the
everything. Okay, so when you leave everything with you, you are wearing the clothes that you came in here with. I'm going to roll a luck check to see if you happen to leave anything dwarven behind.
Okay. Fuck.
How out of there are you trying to get? Like, are you being really, you're checking stuff? Okay.
I think that she's just like, we are leaving.
We are leaving now? Okay, cool. So, you're just dropping stuff, you know, whatever. I'm going to say a 1 through 5, you left a dwarven something or other. And then 6 through above that, you didn't.
All right.
Go for it, dude.
16.
Okay, cool. You are clear. You have all of your personal effects, and you're past this. You're still in this, like, when there's not a whole lot of like tree detritus yet, like the what's it called isn't there. It's mostly just like grass and trees.
Yeah.
You're in that still. Running in the direction of what? Just back into the trees, or you're going into town?
I think that she wants to go back into town, but she's staying in the trees.
Okay,
got it. Like, stay hidden.
Okay, so you are moving back into town. Same thing. You are. I'm gonna roll something real quick.
God, the face you gave me before
sorry.
that.
I got excited about something. I hope it happens. Let me pick a DC. Hold on.
Let my 2 successful escapes happen.
You can escape. It's fine. So as you run into the direction of the general direction of the town, staying behind the trees, you don't see anything for a long time that's not just like leaves, trees, bugs, squirrels, animals, whatever. And Arliss is full like ninja mode, just running behind you. Are you on the lookout for anything at all in specific?
Barbielle is making a conscious effort to clock if there's anybody patrolling, perhaps.
Okay.
Or to make sure that they are successfully staying hidden, because like they're so close to a Uwethwei waypoint. Why would they be? Why are they out here? Why aren't they in the town? Kind of thing. Like, she wants to avoid any kind of and so I think that she is trying to be really swift, but keep an open eye out for anybody.
Okay,
really.
Go ahead and roll a perception check.
4.
Okay, you are you're running, you're keeping an eye out for all those people, you're keeping an eye out for any kind of dangerous situation, you're listening for the clinkety clank of armor, any kind of thing like that. And so you don't realize that very near you is a beautiful brown horse, and you run right past it into the night, into the forest, going towards town. Okay. So, what
does that freaking mean?
Well, there was a horse earlier, right? That ran off because you scared it.
Okay, I hope that's what that freaking is.
Yeah.
And not like there's somebody on the horse.
I don't know. Weird.
Weird.
Anyway, so cool. So Tavumile extremely successfully escaped.
Yay!
Despite my best efforts.
Go Tavumile!
Yeah. I rolled to see if the guards were gonna be like do something about it. But I rolled to see if they. Yeah, and then only one person in that group of people who heard Tavumile leave on the horse knew that it was Tavumile, and it was the horse guy, and I had him roll to see if he was gonna rat you out or try and find out what was going on, and he decided that he would keep it to himself.
Fuck
and not get in trouble for.
Because Tavumile's just so lovely and sweet, and that's.
Oh, that's not why. It's nothing to do with why.
Know.
Yeah, he was like, maybe I will die, so I'm going to pretend that I used horses that got lost. And so, that, and then, relatively successful as far as you know. At the very least, maybe someone will find out that there is a King's Guard who is not supposed to be there.
Yeah.
A King's Guard who was suspicious, but they will not know, and we have proved it, that there is a King's Guard who was a dwarf. Yeah. Which was the issue in the first place. Arliss and Barbielle have all of this peculiar information. I think of all of the characters in the campaign, they might know the most about, which is funny.
Like, even out of Tavumile, who was there.
Yeah, I mean, Lucian knows what happened.
Yeah, but he doesn't know why.
He doesn't know why.
And neither does Yezi, really.
Yeah, and Tavumile doesn't even know that who it was. Like,
yeah.
she was fed that it was Lucian who did it, and she's like, well, I don't know who else it would be besides Lucian. Arliss and Barbielle heard Frenthius say, we burned their house down.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think she does. They both know the most out of anybody in the whole campaign. Well, jeepers. And we're going to end here for today. And we'll see you on the next episode of Dragon Ball Z.
Freaking man.
Just so you know, timeline-wise, for your own personal edification, the moment... I wrote it down, so let me not freaking lie. The moment that the boys realize... They're the boys in my outline. The moment that they realize that Lucian is gone...
Yeah.
is the exact moment that Tavumile jumps out the window of the tower.
Okay.
So this is the sandwichment of these two chunks together.
Okay.
So you have that percolating while we prepare for future episode.
Sick.
Cool.
Well, we'll see you guys then.
See you guys next one.
Bye-bye.
And bye.